Hey guys, Steele here, and today we're going to talk about Omen smokes. I'm going to start with the map bind here, and I'm going to show you all the different smokes that you can use with Omen. More importantly, why you're going to use these smokes. So the first smoke I'm going to show is towards B. It's actually towards hookah. You can actually use a smoke out on the hookah window, and you can use this to assist you with taking hookah control. So people might not think like, maybe I shouldn't do the smoke here, but the reason why you would want to use this smoke is because it allows you to deal with any engagements inside the hookah area without having to deal with anybody that would be playing from the site or jump spotting for information. And this means that if there's enemies inside hookah, you can deal with them. And if they're not inside, then you're in here for free. And then you can likely mask how many people are here, if it's just you, if it's multiple people, and it just allows you to take control of it. If you don't want to do a smoke in the window because you think it might cause things to be too claustrophobic, what you could do is you could smoke off on top of the box instead. And this smoke is going to allow you to take hookah control without dying to someone that is coming up onto one of these angles, for example, with an operator, or if they're trying to use a rifle. Maybe they can find like a place here in like the sides or the cracks of the smoke, but for the most part, you won't have to deal with someone holding this angle, for example. Moving over to B, sometimes it's nice to drop a smoke right at the top of the octagon area just to help prevent a person from peeking out and taking one of these pesky little angles. It'll force them to commit to a wider angle or towards their fight, where if they do try to like peek that way, then you can kind of deal with them more easily. It forces them out into the open, which means that they might get caught by, you know, a Sova drone or a recon tag. And they're more susceptible to a flashbang, for example, or a near sight. And more importantly, it allows you to come up and clear this area and farm the orb without having to die on the cross to someone that's playing an area such as this cubby, for example, especially if they have an op. It prevents them from being able to hold this angle for you and kill you this way. Same thing with being on top here. It just eliminates these lines from the enemy to use. Similarly, you could try doing more offensively like lurk smoke, but if you drop the smoke up here, and again, you're trying to take garden control, you can come here and throw a flash into garden. Your teammates can be moving up and taking control of this. And again, you can deal with it, use it to take full octagon control, grab the orb, and be able to have this control without being able to get killed by, you know, an operator or someone playing in the site, a pixel peek, and might disrupt the enemy's setup. Once you have hookah or long B and you want to actually approach the site, the common smokes that you can do, one for CT spawn, it prevents the enemies, the defenders, to be able to come in here and take fights into hookah, and it forces them out to clear anybody that would be in any of this huge angle. Basically, they don't have to do a full like 180 to clear all the cubby, but they still have from this entire window to clear, including like, you know, someone that might be at this angle. Elbow is also another spot that can be smoked because this is the next rotator position. So if I'm falling back because I've been pushed off long B, or I'm rotating over to B and this smoke is here, it forces me to commit and come through with smoke to take a fight. And this is not a good fight for me if you can come through and you can sit here posted up on me, for example, with a rifle. You can play this line. You could be in hookah window holding for someone to come through the smoke this way. Unless you're going up against a Sova or Cypher, someone else that might have some way of getting information through a smoke on you, you can use this smoke. If you're playing Sova and you know that the Sova is just playing back here and he has a recon, he's just going to throw a recon bolt out on the wall. It's going to start scanning everything. And if it scans you, he's just going to sit here and shoot you through the smoke, and you're not going to be able to do anything back to him. So sometimes it's good not to smoke this. If you have pushed through elbow, or your team has pushed through elbow, and you want to smoke CT, what you could do instead of the other spawn smoke is this smoke here. And what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to play anywhere around these areas, but it's also going to prevent them from being able to just come out for free, exposed to a bunch of different angles, because now they have to worry about a person being up here. It's the same thing for hookah window. They're just coming into one line. You can play the headshot angles on the site here. So that's not a terrible smoke to do either, because it allows both your people in elbow to peek and your teammates in the site to peek and take the same line on the enemies. Sometimes it's nice to do a smoke that lands front side U-haul just to help establish map control. You don't have to use this all the time. In fact, like it's good to like pick and choose when you want to use the smoke. The smoke's generally good to allow yourself to kind of buy the time and space to work these angles in the site, whether you have an op, whether you have a vandal, and you just want to like feel this out, see if there's like a cipher trip wire here, see if you can find out where the Killjoy's abilities are. It's pretty good at denying the person who would normally play U-Haul the ability to jump spot for you for information or peek out at you, and it might stop them if they have an operator, for example, from being able to hold like one of these lines or one of these lines. So that smoke could be useful in certain situations. At showers, you can do something similar. You can just drop a deep smoke here. And what this would do for you is allow you to move up at showers and not have to worry about someone's not going to be able to see you. So if you're able to make your way in showers, especially if you combo it with a flash, then you can come in and pretty safely take showers control here and then allow the smoke to expire. It depends on what combinations of abilities you're going to use to take showers control. I've definitely seen Omens use this to some degree of success, but sometimes it's just going to get negated if the enemy Omen or Brimstone just drops a smoke here and they disrespect this smoke by just coming through. It's not going to do a whole lot of anything, but it allows you to take some shower control and not have to worry about someone being posted up from this angle here or this angle here. So it's allowing you to take control of these areas. Once you're ready to go and actually hit the site, I think the most important smoke is the Heaven Smoke, because this is where you're going to get a lot of contact by enemy oppers. If you're able to disable this line from the enemy where they can't see to short A and they can't see to showers, and it forces them to come all the way out here to be able to see anything, then it's really good for you because they just stick out like a sore thumb and you can be in any number of angles to punish them if they do come out onto the rafter. It's important to note that there's a difference between smoking all the way deeper here where it's flush with the doorway and doing something like this, because someone can easily come to the corner of the smoke here, take a shot, and instantly get away. And it might be harder for you to detect someone doing this coming out on the sides here, and it might be harder to punish them for that. If you're coming heavily through showers and you're doing a Heaven Smoke, you can also do a smoke on the CT spawn pipes area. A flash or other abilities can help clear out the back of the site, whether it be a recon from a Sova or raise nades, for example, or a Brimstone Molly. With a Heaven Smoke and a Spawn Smoke, you should be able to get out no problem and have these fights for backside U-Haul, front side U-Haul, and just take these long range fights, especially by being able to clear the site and then get close up onto the CT angles, such as this position here. This is a very strong position to hold against the enemies that are trying to retake, especially if you can combo with people that are ready to peek off your contact. So as soon as you start fighting, you have a teammate that's like right here, ready to peek out this way as well. If you want to just try to force a plant in the site, and it's not a horrible idea to do smokes in between the triple area, like between triple boxes, but it's important to note where your smoke's going. Are you doing it more shallow or are you doing it deeper? So if you're trying to cut off the sight lines of the enemy and you're trying to make it safer for you to come up and force a bomb plant, but you want to like deny the sight line, then doing smokes like these are pretty good because it allows you to move up without getting killed from the back of the site. It allows you to get the bomb planted in one of these positions, but it denies the enemies the possibility of coming through a smoke, finding out where you're planting. Let's say you're planting at the front of the truck, the enemy can come into the smoke and just spam you and get away, and you can't see them and punish them for that. So you want to make sure that when you do the smokes, you're cognizant of how back or close the smokes are. So if the smokes are trying to be like flush with the boxes, then this still applies a little bit of a gap that I can come through as a defender, kill the guy planting the bomb, and then, or spike, sorry, and then I can move back away. So be careful of these smokes. The same thing with the smokes that land on top of the truck. You can do a combination of smokes such as the one on the truck and then one beside the truck like this. And this isn't bad to do either if you want to use it as like a wall so that you can take control of the U-Haul area. But you need to be really careful when you're coming up here. Your job isn't to just rush and get a spike plant right away, or especially in the smoke, because an enemy defender could just be sitting there waiting for you. I'd use these smokes primarily if you want to come and secure U-Haul control first, and then once you have U-Haul control, now you can come and try to get the spike planted when the smokes are dissipating, because now you relieve the pressure of an enemy being able to be back here and then push up and kill your teammate that's planting the spike if you're able to come out the backside of U-Haul and trade this guy quickly. If someone's here and there's an enemy backside, traded. A case for doing a smoke on one of the sides, like such as heaven, and then doing it on one of the sides of triple, whether it be left side or right side, depending on if you're coming up short or showers. So you can do a combination such as this and this, and use that so that your players that are at showers don't have to worry about this line here, and they can come out, clear the close lines here, and be able to kind of like pinch on the back of the site here and get all this information in control. This isn't a terrible thing to do either, and you can do the same thing towards heaven and right side triple. And what this does is it allows you to move up without having to worry about someone being at this line. But it's not like the greatest thing to do. It's just something that you could do, like a small variation to kind of change things up a little bit. Again, just be cognizant of how close or far back you apply the smokes, because that's actually going to dictate what types of plays that the enemies can do. Thanks for watching this guide on Omen attack on Bind. I'll do more videos for Omen, for Brimstone, about their smokes, all sorts of different guides, fundamentals, and everything. Stay tuned for more. Remember to subscribe, and you can leave a like and a comment as well. It'll help a lot. Thanks, guys.